All right, good morning and welcome. We are having pajama day. Yeah. I love pajama day. And we're going to be exploring a little more QiGong this morning. So we're going to start in the seated position and just get ourselves centered and grounded. For those of you that are joining us for the first time, you could do a lot of this from a chair. You could have a chair nearby. So if you're worried about being wobbly or unstable or struggling with balance, you can have that chair nearby or a wall to support you. So as we get started, if you're in a seated position, just take some nice deep breaths here and get this sense of grounding and being present in your awareness of where your thoughts and where your mind is today, right now, because you could be scattered. It's the holiday season and you've got a lot to do and a lot going on, and probably a lot of lists of things maybe running through our mind. On my calendar this morning that I change every day says we've got 14 days left till Christmas. So you're celebrating that holiday. This is what we've got going on. So in this moment that we're in right now, we call it the living moment. Use your awareness and your consciousness to feel your body in the space. Notice and connect to your breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the nose or out through the mouth like you're blowing out a candle. If there's anything that you need to get rid of. Notice your hips, your bottom, your core muscles. And as you're scanning your body, notice if you've collected any stress, maybe in the shoulders, maybe in the neck. See where you might be tight. We want to work those things out. Soften your eyelids. Your eyes could be open or closed. Try to relax the face muscles. Your face muscles are definitely connected to the rest of the body. So when you start to relax the face, the rest of the body relaxes. Soften the jaw. Move your jaw around a little bit. That could also be connected to the neck. And just imagining here, when we hold a lot or carry a lot, even if the carrying is in your mind, like I've got a lot to do, we hold on to that in our hands, that energy moves up into the shoulders and into the neck. So when you turn your palms up to the sky here on your lap, and you allow whatever you're holding on to just evaporate. Get a sense of that as you breathe in and out. Keep in mind that there really is no right or wrong. It's about what you're noticing and experiencing. Qigong is energy movement. Qi is the life force in the body. It's like in yoga, the life force or the prana is the breath. So we take a few moments to examine that and see where we are. Connecting with our senses. Breathe in and breathe out. And as we begin to just warm up a little bit, you may decide to stay seated for a little while. You might be again in your chair or seated in easy pose as I am, or you might begin to join me in a standing position. We're going to start off with the neck and the shoulders. So if you want to stay seated, you can stay seated as I adjust to a standing position, or you may come to stand. And as you come to your standing position, again, find this place where you're grounded, rocking gently forward and back from your toes to your heels. And if you're seated, you might even be swaying a little bit side to side or forward and back with your torso. So examine yourself here, get yourself centered on your feet. Let me call this pose mountain pose. Keep your eyes with a gentle gaze straight ahead. Maybe you can see out the window so that you're in touch with nature. And you might even, if you like, have the window open a crack just to bring in some fresh air. We always practice in our bare feet so that we can feel that connection more fully with the earth. Always a nice idea, whether you're practicing yoga or QiGong. And let's just begin with a nodding of the head, drawing the chin to the chest, exhale, and then inhale back up to the sky. And we don't want to overextend the neck so that we're creating some flexion on the back. We want to keep the neck nice and long. Got a lot of nerve endings at the base of the skull and the neck. And we don't want to crimp those. We want to keep that nice and open. And just really notice that stretch through the shoulders and the neck as you draw your chin to the chest. And then allow the chin to rest on the chest. And let's make a nice smiley face across the chest from shoulder to shoulder. Dipping down and then bringing it up, really massaging the throat and the back of the neck. This is really important in this cold season that we give our glands a nice massage, our tonsils. I like to think of this kind of like milking, like you would milk a cow. We're going to milk our glands and our throat by massaging here. Let's hold the chin over to the right shoulder. And then like you have a pencil on your nose, just begin to circle your head around. You're really relaxing those shoulders away from the earlobes with a little movement here so that you're releasing any tension. And do that in both directions. The circles can be big, the circles can be small. And then draw the chin to the chest and over to the left shoulder and draw some circles here. Imagine it circling with your nose or your chin and see how that feels. And if you've been traveling and maybe driving, or, all the positions that we get ourselves in on a daily basis, whether you're holding your cell phone out in front of you, whether you're gaming, whether you're driving or working on your computer, those arms are held out in front and we get a lot of stress in the neck. Draw the chin back to the chest. Bring it back up to the sky. Gazing forward here, breathe in and out. And now with your arms, we're going to have, with the arms, palms facing forward, we're going to turn the arms and shoulders so the palms are facing back. So you're just opening and closing here, stretching the fingers out. Go open and close. We have these energy lines or meridians that run through the palms, all the way up through the shoulders and the chest. So really try to open and close with your shoulders. Open and close through your shoulders. So check me out for a second and get a little more movement through the shoulders, moving it forward and opening it back. And then we're going to add our neck to this position. And this is called the wise owl looks back. So you're going to take your chin over your right shoulders as the arms open up. Inhale, exhale back to the center. Inhale, turn your head over the left shoulder, looking back and opening up. And exhale back to the center. Inhale, open, look over the shoulder. So we're opening up those meridian lines and we're working through the neck. And now really just trying to get connected with our body and in fact, the yoga practice itself. We're doing QiGong and yoga. Yoga is about creating connection, mind, body, and spirit and breath. So that's what we're doing here too, just trying to create a connection. Finish on your left side. And then as you come back to the center, pause in mountain pose and just begin to flick the hands around a little bit, creating some gentle shaking. Shaking out the hands, maybe flapping your wrists around a little bit. Get that working up through your forearms, your elbows, shaking and circling. Move that up to the shoulders and the head and the neck. And then just naturally, I just started to want to bounce a little bit through my knees. So create this bouncing movement in your body. Get the arms, the neck, the head, and we're really moving some energy around. Move down to the legs, shaking the leg, the hip. See if you can isolate the shake in the hip, maybe making some circles, and use your chair here or the wall, or work on your balance. So if you fall out of it, you have to put your foot down, no big deal. Shake the foot, wiggle the ankle, circle the knee. I love these knee circles. My knees are always popping. So when we do these circles, it helps to get the ligaments and the tendons in line with each other. Switch sides, hip. So this feels good if you've been doing a lot of sitting. And again, we want to get the energy circulating and not stuck in the body. And these things you can still do from your chair. Okay, shake it all out vigorously. Have some fun with it. My shirt says joy, have some joy, be playful. And now we get to feel our energy. So just pause here and get still and notice any tingling sensations. My fingers are tingling. If you've ever gone outside on a cool day and did a brisk walk or a jog, and then when you're finished, you pause and just notice that your legs may be tingly or itchy. All of that is energy moving through the body, that pulsation. So pause for a moment and just notice. And get still. Notice if your heart rate changed or your breathing changed. With your feet here, just hip distance apart, we're going to begin to swing the arms like we're wearing a coat, but we don't have our arms in the sleeves. Did you ever do that when you were little? I'm still little. And as we're flapping our sleeves around here, you want the front arm to tap the front of the body. You want the back arm to tap the lower back where the kidneys are. And this is opening the gate of life. Kidneys, so important. So I do want to encourage you to flush yourself a lot after your practice this morning and even during by drinking a lot of water. Now with our feet grounded here, hip distance apart, you're going to feel some movement in the feet, movement in the ankles, movement in the knees, movement in the hips, and beginning to warm up that lower back. Let your head and neck go along with it too. Feels really good. And if we want to get bigger with this. We can take the legs a little wider so that we're coming up onto the tip of your toe and then taking your front arm and slapping your back a bit. Go back and slap that upper back. This is an acupressure point for our lungs. We want to help our lungs stay healthy and clear. Our body has so many defense mechanisms set in place. We want to keep those open and clear and cleansed. So this tapping is great. And now I want you to just start to slow it down a little bit. Don't come to a complete stop. Just slow it down. Slowing down that force and again, bringing the feet back together. And then come back to pause. And come back to notice sensations. In QiGong, we talk about 3 energy centers, the upper Dantian, the heart center Dantian, and the lower Dantian. So as we scoop up some energy now, just nice and slow, like your arms are floating up. Float up. And then our hands are collecting all of this energy. Our arms are collecting all this energy. So as you come down the center of your body, the hands will float down and pass through those 3 energy centers, your third eye, your mind, your wisdom, your thoughts. Give yourself a blessing here. Bless my mind. And as the hands come down through the heart center, bless my heart. And then slowly coming all the way down this lower Dantian below the belly button is like a reservoir, a battery that we're going to place the hands on now and feed this physical body, this energy. So much is going on here that requires energy, digestion, reproduction, nourishing our body, feeding into it. Feel your hands and feel what's happening underneath your hands. Even if it's the breath, pushing the belly out a bit and drawing it back in. Bring the hands back out to the side. Breathe in and breathe out. And we're going to draw our chin to our chest and slowly roll down. You can use a chair out in front to support. You can use your hands down your thighs. This is my first forward fold, so I'm going to keep my knees really bent as I draw down and take the dangle, shaking out your head, shaking out your neck. You could rest your arms on your thighs. You could rest your arms or hands on the shins, on the floor, on your chair, or you can grab opposite hand, opposite elbow. Pull the belly button in, let the shoulders, let the head and neck relax. Again, imagining any of that stress that you were holding on to is just dripping off of the crown of your head. You might bend and straighten your knees a bit here, letting the belly rest on your thighs. Breathe in and breathe out. Getting blood flow to the brain is so important. Keeping our bodies circulating. We've heard this before. If you don't move it, you lose it. So you want to keep everything in flow. Now slowly roll it up, slowly. Keep your chin into your chest. And I can tell you that the way that I move as I'm aging is different. because I'm more conscientious about energy flow. And we don't have to kill ourselves with exercise to keep the body flowing. When you get all the way to the top, roll the shoulders back and roll the shoulders forward. And one of my favorite movements is called the eagle spreads his wings. This is a beautiful side stretch. So what we're going to do here is place the left hand on your hip. Your right leg is going to step behind your left, and the right arm will reach up to the sky and over. And you can gaze up and really stretch here. And then as you come back to the center, we're going to center the energy and let the palms float down like you're sifting here. And then we'll do the other side. Right hand to hip, your left leg crosses behind, that left arm stretches up to the sky. Inhale. And as you come back to the center, ground and sift, exhale. And this movement can be as slow as you like or as vigorous as you like. Take your time and see if you can create less effort when you're moving. So there's a thing called the law of thirds. And so in keeping with that, if you're healthy and all is well, we want to maybe utilize 2/3 of our energy when we're moving, but saving a third, always reserving a third. So if we're not feeling well, we might want to reserve more and not have as much output. Doesn't mean that we still don't move. In fact, I hear this a lot. Oh, I'm not coming to class because I don't feel well. When that's what we really need, is to have a little gentle movement to get some good energy flowing to help your immune system fight off whatever's going on. But we're not going to overdo it. I'm not saying we're, going to be lifting weights or going out for a jog. But some of this gentle movement. Let's do one more time each side. So we'll finish with a stretch on the left. And then pause in mountain pose when you finish that stretch. Breathe in and out. See how your side body feels. Everything is connected. So the beauty of that particular pose is the stretch from the outside edge of your foot all the way up the leg inside, the hip, the waist, the shoulder, the neck. Everything gets a little bit of movement. So we want flow everywhere. Another one of my favorites for the spine is called spinal breathing. So we'll bring the arms to somewhat of a cactus arm position. Your arms, like we want the shoulders relaxed so that we're not stressing out the shoulders. So let your elbows come down a little bit more so that these muscles here in your traps are more relaxed. And then the hands are just comfortable. We're not tightening the fists here. Knees are soft. As you exhale, we'll round forward. This is like cat and cow pose in yoga. Draw the chin to the chest, bring the forearms together, curl the tailbone under. Look at how much my knees are bent here. And then as you inhale, open up. And you can go back as much as you like. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, open up. This feels amazing. Undulating the spine. Exhalating. So we're getting that spinal fluid moving from the base of the neck all the way down to the tail. How important is our spine to the health of our body? Because it's moving, it's securing the nervous system, which is moving all of those impulses and everything through the muscles and our internal organs. So even if you just did this movement every day, very vital to our health. Exhale. Now, as you inhale, let's add a twist. So you begin to look over your right shoulder and bring the arm back behind you. Exhale, come to the front. Inhale, open to the left. Exhale, come to the front. Inhale, open to the right. A rotation, a wringing out of our internal organs and also our spine. Fabulous. Fabulous. That may be a new word. When someone asks you how you feel, fabulous. Feel fabulous. I'll finish on the left. Come back to center and release the hands. And shake out those shoulders. Before we do any more, let's do a little bit of tapping. Just so good to get circulation. So we're going to start by bringing our fingertips to tap our sternum. Your thymus gland lies behind that sternum. So if you want to even lean forward a little bit to bring the thymus gland forward. Our thymus gland produces our white blood cells. So we want to produce more of those to help ward off the evil spirits. And then you're going to take a cupped hand. I'm going to start with my left hand and go down my right arm to tap all the way down to the hand. And if you've got something going on, like, a bum elbow, or we want to just tap our hello James back here under the arm for more circulation, stay there a little bit longer. And then we'll come back across the chest and follow with the right hand and do the left arm, the shoulder, the back of the neck, down the elbow. Try to get as much surface area as you can. So I did some pushbacks off the wall the other day, this pool class that I was teaching, and my triceps are so sore. So I'm going to tap that a little bit more. And you're going to do 3 passes. Your skin is the largest organ in your body, so bringing circulation up to the skin. Our skin is also a good indication of our health. Is your skin dry? Are you losing elasticity? Those things start to change as you age. So we want to bring some flow to it, helping it out. We want our skin to have a glow. Dry brushing is also a nice idea. And when you dry brush, your skin gets this glow from bringing that circulation there. So come back to the center when you're done with 3 passes. Go back to your thymus gland, give it a little tap. And then slow that down and relax it. We're going to do our lower body. Just notice how your arms feel first, your hands. Everything should be maybe a little itchy or tingly. And then let's start with cupped hands on the hip bones. And we're going to go down the front of the body, inner thigh, front of the thigh. Maybe hang out on the knees, inner shins, calf muscles, ankles. And then on the way up, do the back of the leg, the outside of the leg, all the way up to the buttocks. And then when you get up to the top, do the low back with some light fists. And then bring it back around to the front. Second pass on the hip bones. And down, inner thigh, front of the thigh. Knees. If you got a place that needs some healing, tap that a little bit more. Energy outside of the thigh, back of the thigh, back of the knees. Slappy, slappy, slap. Back, and we're doing three passes here too. One more time. If you missed any spots in the first 2 rounds, get it on the next round. And as you're making contact with all of these parts of your body, send yourself a blessing. We're so critical. Send yourself some self-love. Thank you for showing up for me today. And then as you come back to the center, shake it all out. Woo. And then let's gather up some energy, shall we? Inhale. Oh, everything is so tingly. I feel that all the way up to my head. Gather it up. And then let those hands pass down the center of the body. Blessing your mind, blessing your heart, blessing your whole physical body. Lay your hands on your lower dantian below the belly button and breathe. I'm going to get into the lower body just a little bit. Relax the shoulders out. We're going to step the right leg forward and the left leg back. Now you can decide how far you want this to split. And we're going to practice pushing the wave, it's called. So just start with the legs and this motion that the legs are going to be doing. And think about in your mind what a wave looks like. You know, like if you were a surfer, you'll notice that it, you know, even if you're just sitting on the shore and you're watching the current move in and out. So just imagine that you're starting to push that with your hands. And so let's just go really slow. And it's going to kind of push out and crust up and pull back. So really relaxing the shoulders. I don't want you to develop any more tension in the shoulders. So not too high, just out here in front a little bit. Watch it crest and watch it pull back. So again, we want to feel like we're effortless in our movement. And the legs are a little bit like they're in a warrior pose, a split lunge position. You can come up onto the ball of the foot or up onto the heel in the front leg. Just concentrate on the movement in your arms, being very slow and effortless. The wave receding back, pushing it back, and drawing it up. Very fluid. Let this be a moving meditation. Exhale, push it away. Inhale, pull it back. Now let's do one more. And as we do one more, we're going to play with our arms a little bit before we do the other side. So as you come back to the center, just let the arms kind of flow and the legs flow from side to side, flowing like a river. And the whole body kind of flows from the head to the shoulders. And then transition over to your left leg forward, right leg back. And just play with this here. And again, if you want a little bit more, you can take the leg stance a little bit wider, a little bit closer together. I'm sorry I didn't mention this on the other side, but if you're in a chair, you could just do the arms. You don't have to do the legs. Okay, so let me concentrate here. Pushing away, start to get the arms, wave it up and pull it back, relaxing the shoulders. Really examining and observing your body to make sure that you're not doing too much work. How can I do less work here? Exhale. Inhale. Conservation. Conserving that 1/3 that we're adding onto it. And as we're pulling back here, notice that we're pulling back into this lower Dantian area, feeding our physical body with the energy. See if you can go a little slower. At your own pace, do one more, a couple more if you need it. And then we're going to transition back to the center, coming back into a flowing river. The legs gently going from side to side, the arms flowing. And you might, if you like, decide to get deeper into a lunge, to use the legs a little bit more. Let the arms flow. And with these legs wide, this is called our horse stance. We're opening up the stance of our gait. And just depending, you might even go all the way down. It's up to you. How far can you go? Up to you. What would you like to explore? Come back up. Gently step the legs back together. Continue to flow these hands. And we'll begin to make this energy ball. So I want you to picture holding on to a ball here, and then you're going to just move your hands around it, kind of like you're warming it up, and the palms will stay facing each other. And you might even be able to feel that. It's It's kind of like that force that you feel like you're playing with something squishy in between your fingers. Open and close it. And then let's take the hands and gather up some energy, scooping it up. And then passing those blessings down the center of the body. Blessing your mind, blessing your heart, blessing your body. Let the hands rest at the lower dantian and breathe. Regulating the heart rate, regulating the blood pressure. We'll do a little sifting with the hands here. Your arms at your side in mountain pose with your palms facing forward. We're going to sift up. And you're just really moving from the elbows here and sift down. So that, again, the shoulders and the neck are relaxed. And we'll use this as a little moving meditation. And slowing down. Inhale and exhale. Resting at the bottom. Take a few breaths here. And then if you're standing with me, we're going to slowly find our way down to our mat on our back. If you're in a chair, just stay right where you are, and I'll give you some ideas. We're going to move into a modified bridge pose. So if you're on your floor and you're on your back, bend your knees, stretch your fingertips towards your heels. And if you're seated in your chair, then just do a seated cat and cow, where you're drawing your chin to your chest and opening up, kind of like the spinal breathing that we did from standing. So here, reach those fingertips. If you're on your back for this modified bridge pose, reach the fingertips towards the heels, exhale and lift the hips all the way up to the sky, stretching the front of the body, but also then really creating a stretch through the back of the neck and the shoulders. Inhale, lower down nice and slow. So again, if you're in your chair, you could do a seated cat and cow, or a drawing the chin to the chest and just moving the neck. If you're joining me, this is a modified bridge pose. And I really want you here to just think about massaging the spine all the way up and all the way down. And this is really nice if you're feeling that tension in the neck and the upper shoulders, the traps. So you might even hold your bridge. Make sure you keep your chin into your chest, looking down the midline of the body, and that everything is lined up from shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, and the center of your foot. Using your arms to support your body, you might be able to hide your arms underneath and interlace your palms to open that up a little bit more. And I just increased my stretch through the neck and also the whole front of my body. But if that's not in your body to do it, then just keep the arms grounding. And now on your way down, slowly, slowly, so you can feel the shoulders, the upper back, the middle back, doing a little pelvic tilt as I come to the bottom, and release all the way down. Now, when you get here, draw your legs into your belly. If you're seated in a chair, draw one leg at a time into the belly. Give it a hug. Rock from side to side here, massaging your low back and drawing some circles. So if you're seated, one leg at a time draws in and circles around. You can still get some nice movement, even if you're in a chair. I love to do these first thing in the morning while I'm still in my bed, getting everything prepared for my feet to hit the floor. Circle your ankles around. And then let's lower the feet to the floor and cross your right ankle over your left. So if you're seated in a chair, you're just going to cross the leg over like you're reading a paper and just rock from side to side, massaging the hips, massaging the lower back. Taking a range of motion here that feels comfortable for you. So if you want a little more twist, take the foot over a little bit more. Take the knee over a little bit more. And if you're in a chair, you can still do this by just rocking yourself side to side as I'm doing off of my left foot that's on the floor. So look at all the places where you might feel movement. You could even get your head going here. So as your leg falls to the right, maybe the head goes to the left. And I definitely feel this across my shoulder blades. Hold to the center whenever you're ready. And maybe the right leg opens and closes like you're opening and closing a door. If you like, you could stay right here. If you want to, you can bring the left leg up, supporting behind the thigh or across the shin. Adjust your neck and your shoulders. Breathe in and out here in this figure 4 pose. If you're in a chair and you have a block available, you could put a block underneath your left foot to bring the stretch up a little bit if you're not holding on behind the thigh. I always have a way that we can adjust to fit what our needs are. Stay right there or lower it down. Release your right leg up to the sky, holding the back of the thigh. Circle your ankle. So if you're seated in a chair, you're just going to extend that leg out in front of you a little bit and maybe bring your torso up towards your leg. And you can do this even if you're laying on your back. Maybe just engage your core muscles a little bit. Engaging core, getting a stretch through the back of the thigh, the calf. If it's in your body to do so, you could even grab your big toe and hold that stretch here. Breathe in and out, and then let's switch sides. Crossing the left leg over, and we're just going to repeat what we did on this side. Gently side to side. Feels super yum yum. Super yum yum. And then when you're ready to hold the center, open and close. Open and close. Breathe in, breathe out. And then if you like, bring that right foot off the floor, holding behind the thigh or across the shin if it's okay with your knee. And if this isn't okay, you could always keep that right foot on the floor. And again, if you're seated in your chair, maybe your right foot is up a little bit higher to increase the stretch. Draw those shoulders away from the ears. That feels really good. Lower that right foot to the floor and extend your left leg up to the sky. Point and flex and circle. Extend that left leg out if you're seated in the chair, and maybe just slide the hands towards the feet, bringing your upper body up. Exhale as you pull it a little bit closer. Inhale as you come down. Exhale as you come up. Inhale as you release. And then coming into our final resting pose, extend your legs all the way out when you're ready. Now, if lying on your back flat like this is uncomfortable for your low back, you can bring your feet out wide and let your knees and inner thighs come together. Adjust your lower back. Check in with your neck and your shoulders and your face. Let something out. If your mind is still really active, you can meditate on 2 words. Inhale, be. Exhale, still. Inhale, be. Exhale, still. Be still. Please give yourself permission to stay here as long as you like, for at least a minute. Longer if you can. Very important to remember to come out nice and slow. So when you are ready, turning to your side, moving your hands to push yourself up. Coming back into that position where we started, of getting grounded. Pausing to see how you are and how you feel. Connecting. Place a left hand on the heart and a right hand on the belly, and feel. Bless your heart. Bless your physical body. Bring the hands together in prayer and lightly touch your thumbs to your forehead, your third eye, blessing your wisdom center. Bringing the hands back to the heart center. The light within me honors and bows to the light within you. Namaste.